In studio with me is Ohio Secretary of State John Husted, and let's start talking about elections. Ohio hasn't had quite the problems that the notorious hanging chads caused in Florida. However, we have been the source of some election controversy with consistency and uniformity, and we've been so important in the last couple of presidential elections. What's being done to change this and make things work better?
Well, Ohio is important and will be important in the 2012 presidential election, and we're trying to get everything in order now so that voters will have a seamless process when they go in and vote at the polls, and the election can be about the candidates, their ideas, the quality of their character, and not about the process whereby we elect them. And there's legislation moving through the Ohio legislature right now that would do things that like allow voters to update their registration and register to vote online, which will make it easier so that they can cast a ballot in the right place and make sure that it gets counted. We're also going to shorten the voting period from 35 days, it looks like, to 21 days if the legislation passes, eliminating that controversial golden week where you can register and vote on the same time that's been the source of some voter fraud in the past. And getting these things put behind us early will allow us to run them through this November's election and next spring's primary so that we have them under our belts with the local election officials and the voters so that they understand the new process when we get to 2012.
Well, simplicity and transparency sounds like a great goal. Is there opposition to the plan that's on the table?
Well, there are always a lot of questions, and there is opposition with smaller parts of the bill, but I really do believe that we can build some bipartisan consensus for it. That's always been my goal. We don't want to make this an issue that needs to be controversial. Elections themselves are controversial enough, and I think the process that we're undertaking right now with legislation sponsored by Mark Wagner, who represents the Senate district, is going to really help us get to a place of, I think, where everybody can be comfortable with our elections in Ohio.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Let's move now to voting for people who are serving our country overseas. How will that be changing?
Well, we're going to make sure that anybody voting overseas will get their ballot up to 45 days in advance of the election. They can get it electronically. There will be a unique identifier. They can print off their own ballot, cast it, and send it back. And with that advance notice, we'll make sure that their vote gets counted on Election Day, and that veterans who in the past had been concerned that maybe their vote wasn't counting, we're going to make sure in Ohio that it does count and that they're going to have a chance to vote much earlier than everybody else to ensure that does. Because if you're in the hills of Afghanistan right now defending our country's interests and our values, we want to make sure that you can participate in the most important process in democracy.
Yeah, you certainly deserve to vote. Very quickly, before we have to wrap up, there's a way that if you have a veteran in your life you'd like to honor, your office can help with that. What do people have to do?
To do that, you can go to our website and fill out a form honoring the veteran that is important in your life and maybe in ours too, and let us know about that. We can help honor. You can also at that website register to vote and also pick the voting sticker that Ohioans will get next November's election.
Okay.
And all of those things are right there available at the Ohio Secretary of State website.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Husted, for being with us. That is tonight's Talk Back.